Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of Fluffy Flamingos, and more importantly, welcome to something brand new, a new mini-series that we're putting out on this channel, Silent Minds. Silent Minds is a 10-episode mini-series that I'm going to start up right now. This is episode 1, called Slop. These 10 magic tricks are impromptu only. That's why it's called Silent Minds. Impromptu. Let's go over that real quick. What is that? That means anytime, anywhere, any deck of cards. So every episode I'm going to be changing out my deck. So you'll see that they don't have to be tricked out or anything or set up in any way. If someone walks up to you and you just have like a random deck of cards, like let's just say you have aviators in your backpack. Someone walks up and says, "You must be the magic guy I heard about. Can you show me some magic?" Then you'll have 10 tricks out the wazoo. You can do just right then and there. No setup. Anytime, anywhere, any deck of cards. Impromptu doesn't even necessarily mean deck of cards. An impromptu trick could be coins or mentalism. We're just going to cover the basic impromptu card tricks for the most part. And again, these 10 episodes will lay down the groundwork for magic. So double lifts, false shuffles, convincing controls, fair forces, just basic principles that everyone needs to know as a magician. And I think this is gonna be the perfect like crash course miniseries for someone who's just beginning, who has no idea where to start. This will be perfect. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Shai Mizrahi. I am a magician. So yes, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are coming back, it's good to see your face. I'm glad you can join us for this new series, and I think you're gonna enjoy this. Again, I wanted to go over why we call this Silent Minds. It's all about being one step ahead of the audience. The fact that we can do this at any time, at any place, any object or lack of object, that's what makes these so powerful, is that they have no idea how ready we really are. Have zero clue how prepared we are in here. All right, so let's do a performance of the trick today. It's called Slop. It's super fun. I love this one. This is definitely one of my go-to effects if I need something, you know, quick. All right, as I said, we're gonna be using a pack of aviators. I don't use these often at all, and I did in fact just drop that box on the floor. So this is how I perform it, because I have a story to go along with my trick, but you guys can use any pattern that you'd like. Back in New York, we had this, I don't know if you guys knew that, but I'm from New York. I lived there for a while. If you watch me long enough, my videos actually date back and like started in New York. But basically we have this festival every year. It's called the Fall Fest. It's a week-long event where we have gypsies and psychics, that kind of thing, parade. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to publicly perform for the first time ever. So I found these 3 girls, Delilah, Rose, and Melissa, and I asked Delilah if she could just pick any card that she wanted. So she took this card, she took a look at it, and then I went to go cut it in, because I couldn't shuffle for crap back then. I could only cut, but I knew some fancy cuts that could maybe impress the girls. But at this point, I just tried to lose the card as best as I could with my terrible abilities. And I put the deck down on a bench so, you know, we could talk about what was the next step. But this wasn't just my first public performance, this was also my first drunk person. Delilah picked up the cards and she shuffled them like this. She called it her spider shuffle. I don't know why. It's absolutely atrocious. But after a massive mess of card piling, she showed me that there's front to back, there's back to front, here and there and here. And I think if you look hard enough, yep, right here, you'll see that we have back to back. So what we ended up doing was I was pretty much royally screwed and I needed some assistance. So I told Delilah, could you help me out? And can I pick 2 cards instead of 1? Could I try twice? That way I can maybe redeem myself. And she said, okay, fine. But if you don't get it, I don't believe in magic at all. So like, good luck with that. So I flipped the top card over out of desperation. Is it the Joker? She said no, which wasn't really shocking, but I told her, can I remove the card so I don't pick it twice by mistake? She said, sure. So I said, what if I cut the cards and then everything is face down again, and the card that you picked is actually the Queen of Hearts from the beginning? And that is the performance of Slop. And after that, she actually did say that she believes in magic now. So There you go. Okay guys, let's go into the tutorial for slop. There's only a couple things you're gonna need to know that I won't be teaching in this video, and that is a double lift. You'll be needing to know a control, and you're also gonna need a broken in deck of cards. So 3 things. Double lift, if you guys don't know how to do that, you just would be lifting up 2 cards as 1. That's essentially all that is. Next, for controls, and a control is taking someone's card and controlling it to a specific spot in the deck, such as the top. And if you guys don't know any controls, I just did a video on forces and controls. I'll link that in the description box below. And then finally, just have a broken in deck. As long as it's not straight out of packaging, it should be okay. And you'll know why in a second. First things first, if you guys want an excellent pro tip for when you're doing any impromptu magic trick, if the audience can shuffle the cards, let them shuffle the cards. You let them shuffle the cards, and then they can pick any card that they would like. So let's assume that they pick this card here. I don't really see it until I lay it on the deck. Oops, I just dropped it. This is the first thing that needs to happen. You need to peek at what their top card was, all right? So how you're gonna do that is you're going to move the deck upside down and then curl over the card with these 3 fingers. Your middle, ring, and pinky. You're gonna push it over your thumb, just like that. So all that, it's a lot easier upside down. So all you're gonna do is flip the cards over and then move the card out. Obviously not this big. In the performance, I just did a little bit, just like that. A lot of people are gonna say, well, that's so obvious. If you see someone peek like that, I just got to peek at it. It's a 10 of diamonds. But you wouldn't believe how easy it is to just move the card over just an inch. That's what it looks like from my perspective, right? That's about how far I'd ever go. I get a peek at the Jack of Hearts, and it's always on an offbeat. So as I'm talking, I just peek it out, and I just know it's the Jack of Hearts. Get some practice on that. Give it a second. This is the 10 of Hearts. I just had a look at it. We'll give it a quick shuffle. We'll see how quick I can do it. This is the King of Hearts. It's super easy. So again, you're just pushing the card up and upside down, and you can see the top card, 6 of Hearts. So at this point, to recap, spectator shuffles. They pick any card. We will control it in any way that we so choose, and then we take a peek at the 4 of Hearts on top. So from here, I'm going to show you the spider shuffle, or what's known as the slop shuffle professionally, and I'm going to show you what it really does. So if I do the slop shuffle, the spider shuffle, as I called in the performance, look what I did. It's literally face up with face down. So all I really did with this shuffle is cut the cards and then flip it upside down. That's all it looks like. Push over some cards and put it in the crotch of your thumb and index finger. Push over, flip, and then spread on the bottom, spread, flip, spread, flip, spread, flip, over and over again until you run out of cards or you think that's fine. And from here, as a convincer, to show you that what we want them to see is that the cards, we want them to see this. We want them to think that the cards are face up, face down, which we know that's not true. So what we're gonna do, instead of spreading the cards out like that, is you're just gonna open it up in random spots. So front to back to front, once again, down here. And then finally, this is why you need a broken in deck. You're gonna open up back to back, and it's so easy to find. I'm gonna lift this up closer to you guys. You see that massive gap in between my cards? That's where the back to back is, because the cards are all bent in one way. Just even slightly is enough. So after you shuffle the cards like once or twice, they should have that big fat gap that the audience doesn't really see from this far away. So all you have to do is open up the back to back and then peek one more time. So what I do is I say we have back to back, and as I'm talking, I just take a peek at the top card to make sure that the 4 of Hearts is on top of here. If this was, let's say it's incorrect, right? Let's say I flip this upside down and I open it up and I say we have back to back, I peek, and this is not their card. I know it's not the 4 of Hearts. So I would put this on the bottom, right? But let's say I am doing the shuffle and the card is on this side. I would peek, there's the 4 of Hearts, so I would just put this on top. So all you're doing is getting the 4 of hearts back to the top of the deck. So let's recap one more time so you don't get super lost. We're going to have the spectator shuffle. They pick a card at random. We have the 10 of clubs. We're going to shuffle that in at any point and control it to the top in any manner we wish. From here, we're going to do a peek. I know it's the 10 of clubs. We're going to do the spider shuffle, slop shuffle. And from here, we go up, down, up, face to back to face, and then back to back. Here you get one last peek. I know this is the 10 of clubs. And then I'll just leave that on top. Make sure that the 10 of clubs is on the top of the deck. And then this is where you're going to do your double lift. You're going to lift up 2 cards and say, that's not your card, right? The 7 of hearts obviously isn't your pick. That would have been really lucky if it was. I mean, there's 54 options I could have picked from. So you're going to take that, flip it over again, and then give them the 10 of clubs. Put that in their hands. I just put it on my lap for performance issues, but yeah. More time, we say, is that your card? They say, nope, I was not thinking of the 7 of hearts. I say, drat, that's too bad. Here you go. So now I've switched it out for the 10 of clubs. So I'm already one step ahead of the audience. So here I say, what if I give it a shuffle, or what if I give it one cut, and from here, everything goes back to normal. And the card that you were holding was the 10 of clubs. So that is the tutorial on the handling of it. And then there's one more alternate pattern that I can give you guys, something that I've used before and I find it very fun and helpful. So do the entire trick like normal, but instead of using my story about me living in New York, you can talk about time travel. So they would pick the card, and as they're looking at this and holding it in their hand, you say, so as you can see, all the cards are different, right? And you can tell that everything is mixed, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna spread out the cards and say, this exact moment we're gonna go back in time to. And I'm going to give you something special today. I'm going to give you time, right? And that's just one of the most precious gifts of all, is giving you time, because it's just so precious that it's always going and going and going, and we can never get it back. So I'm going to give you that. So we're going to come back to this moment in time. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the trick like normal. So you get to the end, you say, was this your card? They say no. You flip that, give that to them, and then you say, okay, well, if I cut it and go back in time to this moment where everything was face down and you were holding your card, and there you go, you went back in time. And then another great application for this is if you get the app Timeline for the iOS device from Patrick Kuhn. That is an app that will visually reverse time.
Look, it's 10:07. I'm gonna make it go back in time. Look, 5 minutes. Watch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get off!
Everybody's phone. Yeah?
Do you believe in time travel?
So that is another awesome application if you would like to do that. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys will enjoy this new series. I think that impromptu tricks are definitely some of the most powerful ones. If you want to know an amazing impromptu trick that you'd have to purchase, but it is an amazing way to open or close your performance, it is absolutely stunning. It's double exposure by Aussie Wind. That is an effect where you take a photo and then change the photo. That one's just absolutely remarkable. I'll leave that trailer down below as well. But to continue on this series, again, we're going to be teaching you all sorts of things like controls, switches, reveals. That's all really important, especially with impromptu performances. We're going to talk about how to make them the most impactful that you can make them, to really give it that punch at the end that will really stun the audience. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode of Silent Minds. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for more videos just like this. And finally, don't forget to smash the like button, give it some love. Comment below what your favorite impromptu trick, and maybe we'll cover it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.